always wanted to be with him. And he kept saying, no, Shay, I want you to stay in school. You're in your last year of high school. I want you to finish. So I'm like, even my mom, she was telling me the same thing too. That's why I didn't want to talk about it.
I feel weird.
Very.
I feel awkward. I feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
I feel like I'm naked.
Yes.
And I feel uncomfortable in my spirit because it's like, man, y'all just don't know the spiritual fight and press that you gotta have to even get to
do
this
this.
point, to do
Yeah,
this.
for real, to even talk about your life, it's tough. It's a lot. Tough. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And so we here to do it because we love y'all.
This is a touchy one.
And
this
we
is
want
very touchy.
to do our best to connect with people in this world because we understand.
Yes,
and we just want people to know how much we understand. Don't get so caught up in our beautiful life.
Right.
And the new versions of us that you see. Like, this is stuff that...
There's a real serious story behind our lives of getting this far, you know, and it get real sensitive. So
Very.
This is a sensitive
Topic.
It's a sensitive topic. It's something we've been thinking about all the way up until this point. It's tough.
So yeah.
Oh my God! See the tears trying to come already. I ain't even started yet. Like, I don't really want to.
Be very sensitive towards us when it comes to this stuff because it's not easy doing what we doing. Like, it may seem like it's easy because we just doing it together. We got this connection where it makes it easy for us to share these intimate parts of our lives. But don't think not for 1 second that this is easy for us to do.
It's not easy.
Because this is stuff that we put deep down in the gutter. We buried
it just like God buried in the sea of forgiveness. We buried it along with that. But it's like pulling off a Band-Aid. We just trying to reach somebody and let them know they're not alone. You know what I'm saying?
They're not. We can definitely connect with you on that level. Hard.
And y'all can relate to us just as well as we can relate to you and your stories as well. But this is reality. This is why it's keeping it real with Shay&Tae, because we keeps it all the way real.
We hope y'all feel our hearts and where we're coming from as we share these intimate testimonies.
Please don't judge our life story. This is just what I've been through. That's all. Don't judge. Don't judge.
Because we love y'all and we just want to connect with y'all on this level to the point where y'all come to God at some point and realize that God can handle your situation.
He can. Nothing is too hard. Nothing is too hard, nothing too small, and none too greater that God cannot handle. Because if he handled us in our situation and brought us out on top and made us royal priesthood people,
made us strong,
children of God Almighty himself, he could do the same for you, your family, your children, your husband, your wife. So just never forget that. Never. You can always be sitting in the same spot as us.
Yeah, absolutely. This can be done for anybody. So, let's get into this. Keeping it real with Shay&Tae, episode
2.
We is going to get into some testimonies of what we've been through with these crazy dope boys that we found ourselves with our young tenderoni selves.
I'm telling you.
We were so
Teeter
young.
boppers.
So tender in age, but we found ourselves with dope boys because we had that attraction to that lifestyle because of stuff we was exposed to. We're not glorifying this lifestyle. We found ourselves in some very dangerous situations that could have caused us to lose our life, caused us to be raped. Me, for instance, I could have been raped in a situation.
Absolutely.
It was a situation where I could have been locked up, chasing after these dope boys and doing drugs and living that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, that we shouldn't have been living at the age that we was at. Like we said, I started off when I was only 13. Although I didn't really know who I was with and what he was doing, I still was with a dope boy and I was still young. And that relationship progressed me into more relationships with more guys that was into that lifestyle because I was chasing that fast money too. I wanted that money. I wanted the excitement. I wanted the fame of it, the glory of it. You know, when you in the streets and you with dope boys, you get kind of a prestige from people. People put you on the level like,
they put you on a high
Shorty
level,
be with the dope boys. Shorty, you know, about that money. Shorty, you know, it's
you definitely get recognized.
It's a recognition.
It is definitely a recognition. So,
and I was always with guys that was older than me, and when young girls saw me with the dope boys, they used to look up to me, believe it or not. They used to be like, man, you really out here doing this stuff? And they used to be proud of me. Like, you just as pretty as you look on the internet, and you just carry yourself so well. And You know, but they was chasing out the lifestyle that wasn't even really what they thought it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, false reality.
Because that life caused me a lot of pain, a lot of heartache,
suffering,
a lot of insecurity, a lot
low
of
self-esteem,
a lot of not only insecurity with myself, which came up, but insecurity like with my safety.
Yep.
With my comfort. Yep. I think Shay should share. Like, okay, we gonna go back to back with our stories because she got way more intense stories than me. I got a couple of them, like probably 2 or 3. But I know Shay got way more because, like you all know, she was older than me, 10 years older than me,
10
right?
years, yeah.
So she got to experience a lot more things. She was in adulthood a lot longer than me because, like I had told y'all before, I was 18 when I got saved. So I didn't have really much experience in the dope game as she did because the Lord snatched me up quite quickly.
Oh, he did. And I'm glad he did that because he said snatched me up till I was 28. So you kind of got in the dope you was reaching your peak. You was fresh, so you was like really fresh out of high school for real. You know?
I was.
She was fresh out of high school. I was already too deep in. I mean, 28. I'm still young, my late 20s, but you know, yet and still, I started at 12 into all the way to 28. In return of that, it wasn't nothing good that came out of that. So the next phase of my life of being with a drug dealer, he was much older than I. He was one of my kids' fathers. Let me just say that.
Wow.
He was. I was 15. It's 2 parts to this, so it's 2 of my kids' dads. So one, I didn't even really have kids yet, but I got pregnant later on down the road. But I was 15. He was, how old was he? He was like 19. He was about 19, 20. And it was, you know, it was some drugs, some gang relations too.
Right.
That I wound myself in between. He was blood, and my family, they Crips, so they didn't like each other.
Wow.
So they was into it and stuff, and he stayed in the part of the town where my family stayed in at. So, you know, they did a lot of trafficking over in that way. You know, it's like territorial, you know. So one gang, you can't go and do this there and there. You know, my town is very small, so, you know. And at that time when you a kid, you're not really thinking about that.
Right.
You just thinking about, being with him and having fun. You know what I'm saying?
Drinking.
So exactly. And they was getting into it or whatever, and at that time I was in the truck with them, and my cousin was like walking. We was coming towards the neighborhood, like going to his place, and my cousin was walking out the neighborhood, and I guess he swerved and he tried to hit him and like run him in the ditch, and he missed him, and my cousin started shooting at the truck. And
did he know you was in there?
No.
They just knew it was his car.
It was him. We was in the truck. He knew it was him. And he started shooting at the truck. And thank God that bullet did not hit me in the back of my head.
Shame.
Because that was a tough one for me. And at that point, man, I wasn't really, at that time, now that I think about it, I'm like, man, I can't believe I was in this type of situation, and knowing it's some gang territorial stuff going on with my family, and they, you know, Bloods and Crips and stuff.
You was just excited to be with him.
Exactly. And
I
was
wasn't thinking about the danger.
No, I wasn't thinking about that. No, I wasn't thinking about that.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
That's how it is.
You know, he was way much older than me, man, and I just was so rebellious at that time, and I wasn't even thinking. I just wanted to be with him. I was in love with him. But now we say, oh, you were just lustful behind the ears. You were just lustful. You didn't really know what love was. And this guy had so much more experience than me. So, you know.
Same.
And I just was going with it, you know. I'm trying to keep up with his coattail, but not realizing, like, baby girl, you putting yourself in dangerous situations right now.
And that's one thing I wanted to bring up. Like, when you riding around with these dope boys, it's a lot of things that are tied to doing that. Just riding around with them. Like, I will feel so uncomfortable when we will be going to do deals because Kenosha not that big.
No, it's
not. You know
not.
what I'm saying? Police be on it in Kenosha because they don't got nothing to do.
Right.
And so when you in the cars with these guys and they got these drugs and stuff, at any time you can get pulled over.
Man, I'm telling you.
And that was one of the things, even though it's not as big as what she went through, that I will always be scared about when I will be with my dope boy. Like, if we get pulled over, we gonna get searched.
Oh, absolutely.
And all my dope boys used to smoke was loud. So you smell the weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You automatically know what kind of guy it was.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys I used to be with, they used to love having me with them. And I used to have to protest with them, like, don't be having me with y'all when y'all doing these service stuff. They would tell me, like, well, with you being on the side of me, they'll think I'm just with my girlfriend, or you know what I'm saying, going out on a date or something, so they won't really bother
that
me.
was using you as a decoy.
A decoy. So that'd be one of the ways that like you actually protecting me because they less likely to pull me over when they see a girl in the car with you. You know what I'm saying? And so I used to be like, okay, well, I'll be in the car sometime. But with you riding around with these dope boys, you have the potential to be a party to a crime.
Yeah, for real. Absolutely.
And I knew that even at my young age that I could get caught up in that because it was even a situation when I was dating guys, they would tell me like, would you hide dope for me? Up your stuff? Or they'll ask me like, would you hide dope for me and swallow it for me? Like dudes will ask me stuff like that.
That's crazy.
I will ride for you, but I'm not going to hide drugs inside of me or swallow it for you. I'm just not doing. I'm not that kind of girl.
The potential of what can happen to you, you could OD and die from that.
I knew a guy that I was talking to for a while. He was a dope boy, and he was telling me, and that was one of the reasons with his story that he told me that I would be so strongly about it because he told me that at one time he had got pulled over, and the police stopped him, and he had like a rock of crack like this big with him, and he didn't even separate it yet. He was just carrying it. Jeez. And he said he was so scared he just put it in his mouth and swallowed it.
Oh my God.
And he told me he was sick for like a week. He was sick.
He better be glad he ain't died because we was just watching something and brother died in the prison, died in jail in intake. He died.
But he said he would rather swallow it than go to jail. He said he just suffered the consequences.
Don't make sense.
And so after I had heard that story, I would tell dudes, like, I'm not sticking nothing inside of me. I'm not swallowing
anything.
I'm not putting nothing in nowhere on my body. So if we get pulled over, just know, boy, you're going to jail.
You going down. I ain't going. I love you. I love you, baby. But I love you, baby. But I ain't going down for you.
But I used to have to let them know.
I ain't going down for you.
I'm not that kind of girl. I used to try to act like I was hood and ratchet, but I wasn't that hood and ratchet.
No.
You know
I wasn't that. I wasn't doing that.
I had a little bit of common sense. But those are situations that a lot of young women find themselves in, and they be so torn and heartbroken and mind gone with these guys. They will do that stuff for
vulnerability, man. Vulnerability,
praise be
boy.
God that I had enough confidence in myself and enough common sense to say, no, I'm not doing that.
You know they say you do anything for love. It's a lot of women out here, man. They will go that low to do that for them.
And to be honest, after they would ask me that, I would kind of contemplate it afterwards. Like, if he really, because I really cared about these guys.
Yeah,
if he really is with them, would I be in a moment and panic and do it?
But I did hold drugs though. You know what I'm saying? I did hold drugs. But I don't think I could ever go that far as him telling me what I get rid of it on my body.
They suggest
like I don't think I can go that low.
With me looking so young and so cute and innocent, they will never check me in that way. You know what I'm saying? But I had to put my little foot down and say, no, sir, I'm
this
not
have
doing
to understand these guys are more advanced than me. They way older than me.
Way older.
They know more than me.
Yeah.
But at that time, we have a gullible mind. So we not even on the level as they is. So that's how them older boys able to get these young girls and do as they please to them because they not even mature in their mind. Their mind ain't even fully developed or have any experience
of it.
It's
very dangerous.
So it's very dangerous.
And God knows what could have happened if I would have continued, like, and I'm telling y'all this from like different this is not just one guy in particular. This has been different relationships where this stuff has been told to me and suggested to me, and I thank God I didn't get too attached to them where it got to the point where I was going that hard for them, because the more you be with these guys and the relationship progressed, the more you could be possibly willing to do for them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because the last one I was with, I would do anything for him. Like, I was extremely gone for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But his love for me, thankfully, didn't allow him to even put me in those situations.
Absolutely.
Praise be to God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this thing is not a game for real.
It's not. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell y'all about a house situation I was in after she tell her house situation.
All right. So this was my last year of high school, 12th grade.
Man.
I always say school is important now that I look back on my life.
Man, y'all,
I say how important it is because I was so dope boy gone. I dropped out. I dropped out of school. He begged me to go. He begged me to stay, and I just couldn't deal with the fact that he's a drug dealer now. In the streets. And I'm
in class. I did the same thing. I was skipping school too.
I skipped and he was trafficking out of Zion, Illinois. And I always wanted to be with him, and he kept saying, "No, Shay, I want you to stay in school. You're in your last year of high school. I want you to finish." So I'm like, even my mom, she was telling me the same thing too. That's why I didn't want to talk about it.
I know, babe.
I should have listened, but I didn't. So I'm in my last year of high school, and I wanted to graduate. I already had 2 kids already. I had 2 boys. Cortez was I forgot how Cortez was. I think he was like 2. Trayvon, I just had him, and he had a disability. He got a medical condition, and I just wanted to be with him so bad. Speed up. And I went that night. I went to Zion with him, man, and
this was your first time going to Zion with him, or you used to go all the time?
I was going all the time.
Okay.
I was going all the time, and just this last time, I went, and now mind you, both of their names, they got the same name. And so we in Zion, we at the crackhead's house. That's where they was trafficking out of, and that's why all they crack and stuff was stationed at. And I was there with him, staying, spending the night here and there. Yeah. And that particular night, the other guy, not my guy that I was with, some guys came over. I guess he owed the dude some money or whatever, and it was 2 of them. And me and Buddy was in the room, and we was talking. We could hear them all outside of the door, and Roosevelt, the dudes, they just came in. They just like really just barged their way on up in these people, up in this man's house.
That's how them dudes be.
And Roosevelt the dudes was trying to check the doors to see who all was in these rooms. It's only a 2-bedroom or whatever. We had a room, and the other guy had a room, and anytime we in the room, we always lock the door, because you got to understand, when you drug dealing, you trafficking out of somebody's house, you got to make sure you in these rooms and you got these doors locked, because clucks are coming in and out these places and stuff.
Right.
And you don't know who coming. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we in the room, we talking. He's sitting on the bed. I'm sitting I'm sitting between his legs or whatever. And we was talking about something. Now, mind you, my guy always had a 4-4 under the pillow at all times. At all times, he stayed strapped at all times. No question asked. Riding around, they strapped. This Zion is another mini Chicago.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Very true.
It's a mini Chicago.
You in the hood parts,
we was in the hood. We was on Ashton or somewhere like that, and I can remember that quite well. We was in an apartment complex. Well, we in the room and we talking. We hear Roosevelt, and the dudes was like, well, they checked the other room, wasn't nobody in there. Buddy wasn't there, the one they was looking for, he wasn't in there. So they checked the room that we was in. Thank God that door was locked. Good God. So they told Roosevelt to give him a hanger, because some of those doors, all you need is a hanger to unlock the door. To stick in the hole, and them mother just pop over, click. We had doors like that. So he couldn't open the door, and Roosevelt said, man, I told y'all ain't nobody in this room. Me and Buddy, we paused, and we looking at each other, and he grabbed that 4-4 so quick, and I'm like, hold on, I'm like, wait, what's going on? I'm only 17.
Like it's getting real.
I'm only 17 years old, man. 17 years old, and I wanted to be out here with him, man, trying to, keep up with his coattail and stuff like that, make sure he ain't cheating on me. Only thing I was just trying to make sure he ain't out here cheating on me. He ain't with nobody else. So that's all that I was even thinking about. I wasn't studying the drugs. I wasn't studying the money. I just really wanted to be with him, And so, and they couldn't get in the room. So it was like 30, 45 minutes later, the 2 dudes come back, and you know what they did? They just shot up the whole building. I kid you not. God. Now the building is it was a lower flat.
Jesus.
It was the building. Thank God it was underground. You know how some apartment is underground, and when you shooting, the gun had beams on it, so they had silencers on it, so you couldn't hear. You could only hear like pack, 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 pack. That's all you could hear, and they was shooting down. They was shooting in the windows and stuff. And he ran behind the headboard. And I just stood there because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know. And he ran. And I ran with him. Roosevelt, he all the lights, he said, y'all get down, they shooting, and he flashed off all the lights and stuff, and we got all down on the floor. Jesus. So after all that had happened, I'm trying to get up out the situation right now. I'm trying to get up out the situation. So I'm shaking and I'm like, I shouldn't even been here. In shock. Yeah, I shouldn't even been here, man.
But you was just thinking like, all I had to do was stay my butt.
He told me, he said, no, Shay, you need to stay here and go to school. And I should have listened. But you know, God sent things to other people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, girl, you putting yourself in a bad situation. Something could go down. Man, I could have been killed that night though.
On the news.
I could have been killed that night.
On the news.
So more happened. So after all that happened, now mind you, Tay, this would have been the wrong person that if they would have got in that room, that would have been the wrong person. But their names is the same.
Wow. So they was looking for somebody in particular, but they thought he was the guy.
Yes. He wasn't there. The dude they was looking for wasn't there. So we leave that spot. We had to get everything we had to get out of there. So we go to another spot.
Jesus.
We go to another one where there is more drugs, guns, dope,
because
crack.
That spot was officially hot. They knew where y'all was at. So
exactly.
Y'all had to relocate.
This is crazy. We had to relocate. Now, Roosevelt is the crackhead. That's what they go. You sell your drugs and whatnot. So we go to another place. We go sleep. Then mind you, this is already.
You still didn't go your butt home.
I didn't go home. I said, nope, I'm staying. After all of that, I didn't go home. After you about to lose your life. Lose your life before you about to graduate.
This girl was dope boy crazy.
I was crazy. I didn't even go.
You didn't go your butt home that day?
I didn't go home. I wish I would have went home. I really wish I would have listened. But we went there and they got raided.
That same day?
The next, like that morning, I don't know if it's like 2, 3 in the morning.
Hours.
Yeah, we got raided. We wouldn't even sleep that long, and we woke up with guns in our face. So I think what happened, somebody snitched on him. He got ratted out.
Yeah,
so,
they couldn't get him, so they was gonna get him.
Oh, they was gonna get him either way. So they found out where we was, and that spot that we was this girl crib, where he had all the dope and all the guns. God. Man, them mugs came out with rifles, ARs, all kind of stuff,
the police.
Drugs. So as Buddy was in the room, he didn't know the police was already downstairs outside of the window. He was throwing the dope and stuff out the window, and they was catching it. The police was catching everything he was throwing out the window. They was catching the dope, everything. They was catching it.
Wow. Is you for real?
I'm dead serious.
I don't remember you telling me this part.
They was catching the dope. We down. Me and Buddy was on the floor. We was sleep. We got up. They told everybody to get up, and guns was in our face, and we got up, and they told us to sit on the couch. We sat on the couch. They checked the place. They go in there where a dude was and his girl, and he didn't. Matter of fact, he didn't let them in the room. So he was really trying to get rid of the dope. But girl.
So what happened to you after the situation? Did they just told you to go home?
Yeah. I was just a girlfriend. Yeah. They questioned me. Of course, they ran my name and everything. Like, I'm 17 years old. Ain't no way I should even be out there. Of course, I got talked to.
Right.
I shouldn't even be out there. These dudes well older than me. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I was the youngest one. They way older than me.
That's how it was.
So I had no business to even be in there, period. You know what I'm saying? So that night I could have just lost my life and wouldn't have never seen 12th grade. But if it had not been for God. That showed me mercy that
was the
night.
grace of God, because the police could have came in there shooting or whatever. God knows what, or them bullets could have shot you that day when y'all was in that house.
I know. Man, I was so scared.
And she still was out in the streets, man.
I was still doing it. I was still doing it, man. And I didn't even stop
there. That was
the
Lord trying to wake up calling you then. Right there.
I know, and I didn't even, and it didn't even stop there. I still was, as time went on, I still was doing stuff. Stuff got even more worse. You know what?
Y'all. See, thankfully, with my situation, I was just started dating a guy, and we went over his cousin's house. It was late at night. It was about I snuck out the house to be with him, mind you. And it was late at night. It was probably like 11 going on 12 o'clock. I done stuck out the house. Don't nobody know where I'm at. And we go to his cousin's house to smoke and watch some movies or whatever. So we getting high. He take me in the kitchen where they cooking up the dope and stuff. He showed me everything like, oh yeah, I'm finna make this money. You know, we gonna be able to do this, this, and that after I make these serves. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so they up there chopping it up, cooking it up and everything. He told me just go sit down and smoke the blunt or whatever. And I'm chilling. And we watching the movie, getting comfortable. It's late. And something told me to just go home. I don't know what it was, but something was just telling me like, go home. Tell him you ready to go.
Yeah.
And so I just was like, you know what? I'm ready to go home. And so thankfully he complied, didn't talk me down. He just took me home. Do y'all know? Literally the next day he called me. He was like, do you know? As soon as I got back to the house, the police bust the door down.
They got
and raided the whole house. His cousin went to jail that night. Thankfully, he didn't have nothing on him when he got back because he said he fell asleep on the couch. After we got high, he just laid on the couch and went to sleep. And he didn't have nothing on him, and that was his house, so he didn't get none of the charges. And his cousin wasn't going to snitch on him. So his cousin took all the charges because it was his baby mama house or whatever. And he told me, he said, girl, if I didn't take you home, you would have been there when it happened. He said the minute he got back, he chilled on the couch. Not even 20 minutes went by, the door came down.
That's how, for real, that's how it was while I was.
And all I could do was sit on my bed. I'm on the bunk bed. That's how young I am, y'all.
Yeah, on the bunk bed.
I'm on the bunk bed. And I was just sitting there in shock because I literally was just there.
Yeah.
Just there.
What grade was you in?
I was only in like 10th grade. I was in 10th grade.
And what grade he was in?
Oh, he was done with school, girl.
So
he wasn't even in school.
So you was dating dudes that was well older than you too?
Been graduated, been out of school.
I don't know what it was back then, but us youngins wanted to be with dudes that was well older than us.
Because they had the cars.
They did.
They had the money.
They
had the weed.
They had
the drink. Like that. They could go get it.
They had that.
They had the IDs. They could take us wherever we wanted to go.
That's facts. You was not lying.
And we was just free riding.
You was not lying.
We didn't have no money. We didn't have no jobs.
We didn't have no jobs.
We couldn't buy no weed.
No.
We couldn't go get no liquor.
At the age of 15 and up, I mean,
no.
Honestly,
I was like
real frank with you, I didn't really have to work. Let
me tell y'all, I was 16
really have to work.
telling this man I was 18 years old. He didn't even know how old I was.
Did I lie about my age?
I was lying hard about my age.
I did.
Because I had the shape. I had the mentality. So they didn't even question it. You know what I'm saying?
You was mature for your age. You know, it's crazy because life experiences, it's kind of matures you. It kind of grows you up really fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I was too. You could just look at me and know like, okay, she a kid, but her mind is not really.
Wasn't nobody questioning.
It was too experienced. I was too experienced in too much stuff.
And the way I dressed, it went along with the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? I was like a prize for these. They wasn't asking me nothing. I was like a prize to have on your arm in those times. And I dressed in those little dresses, those booty shorts. You know what I'm saying?
But I didn't honestly though. I didn't dress how you did per se at that young age. It probably wasn't even
a trend during that time.
No, because like we 10 years. Yeah, we 10 years apart. So I didn't really have that opportunity. I didn't really dress at that time. A lot of stuff I kind of kept hid from my family or whatever. But as I got older, that's when I really started dabbling and dressing very provocative. Very, very provocative. You know, like what she said with the booty shorts, you could like really see your butt.
Yeah,
you know,
the jogging pants that fit every crease of your booty,
your cleavage, all out.
All of that. Yeah, you know, because she was raised in church.
Yeah, so I was raised in church. So a lot of things I had to do. I had to sneak. I had to sneak a lot of stuff. I had to keep a lot of stuff from my mama.
Yeah.
It was a lot that I had to do that I didn't let my family know, but I was so sneaky, but I wasn't sneaky enough because they was catching you. So
chasing these boys and you out in these streets sneaking out, going to do stuff with them. Like, it was even another situation where a guy I was with, he was playing games with me, mind games with me in the car. Now, I done snuck out, mind you, I stayed sneaking out because I was only like 16 years old.
Yeah, but
15, 16 years old, you know what I'm saying? And he took me to go do a late run with him, and he said he really needed me to go with him because, like he said, when the girls with him, it's less likely that he'd be pulled over. And he started playing. I guess he was high as a kite, drunk probably. He started playing mind games with me. Now this man done took me out into the cornfields, y'all. And he wasn't doing no little, this wasn't a little run. This wasn't like a little, but this was like a big one, because this a guy that was probably like an older white man in the country somewhere. He took him like a ball. This is like a regular thing he did for him monthly type of thing. I'm just getting to know this dude too. I barely know him. We going through the cornfields. I'm seeing more and more cornfields. Less and less lights. It's getting darker and darker. I'm high, smoking with him in the car. He got the speakers blasting, you know, and then he turned the volume down, pulled up to the place, went in, came out. I'm telling y'all, it's pitch black. This house is in the middle of nowhere. Them corn stalks is going around the whole house.
Yeah.
And he got back in the car. He looked at me and he was like, "Get out." First, I like laughed it off. I'm like, ha 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 ha.
You gotta be joking.
First, I laughed it off. I'm like, ha ha. And then he looked at me again. He turned around. He said, "Get out of my car." And then my heart stopped. And I was like, "Get out your car."
Oh my God.
And so immediately my mind went to like, did he just tell dude that I'm finna go in here?
Right.
Is he just kicking me out? Did I do something wrong?
Right.
And so then I got serious and I was like, "Get out." "What you mean get out?" And he was like, "Get out right now. I want you to get out of my car. I'm finna go."
And he was finna leave you in that darn cornfield.
This is the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Man,
y'all.
you know what? She is not lying. Because when you first meet these dudes, we looking at the flamboyant of these dudes. They crazy. We young. So they can just really manipulate us and just do whatever they want to. I've been there. And do whatever they want to with us. I had got so experienced in doing stuff. And so, like, thinking how a man think. And I try reverse psychiatrist on
exactly.
I reverse it on
so
them.
you get aggressive with them.
Yeah,
like, boy,
exactly.
Get up this car. Don't even play with me like that. Don't even play with me like that, boy.
I was like that.
And then when I got a little aggressive, he was like, "Hi, I'm just playing, girl. Come on, let's go." But on the way back, I wasn't even really feeling him like that no more. Because I'm like, why would you play with me like that?
Yeah, boy.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where. Don't nobody know I'm even outside right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, that made me feel some type of way towards him after that situation. Yeah. Like, for real. Because that's, like, nothing to play with.
You would never get talked to again after this,
I would have never found my way back home.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have been stuck in that cornfield calling for help. You would have been stuck in that cornfield.
Why is you even out here, 16-year-old Shay&Tae?
Exactly. And you know what's crazy? We would just get in the car with people and think it's just so cool, but they do it even worse.
To the next story.
They move. They do it so bad in this generation. It don't make dog sense.
Listen to me. I was so dope boy crazy and hungry to get high and get drunk. Right
Talk
around
about
these
it.
Nice cars.
Talk about it.
Get money spent on me. I see a dude online splurging. I'm hitting him up. Like, what's up? What's good?
Facts.
How you doing today? And don't let him message me. I'm making dates and everything. I'm just hopping in and out of cars.
Yep.
With God knows who.
Yep.
God knows how old.
Yep.
And then when I be with my girls, I'm doing it even more. And mind you, I hung out with women that was older than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say no names or nothing, but I will always be with girls that was like way older than me. And so, because I was so experienced with it, it wasn't nothing to me. Like, we would just hook up with dudes. They coming from Milwaukee. They coming from Illinois. They coming from Indiana. These dudes got nice cars. They got money. They ready to spend.
That's crazy. That's
you know what
crazy.
I'm saying?
Because
they got jewelry. They seeing me. They excited. They like, let's go. But mind you, I could have been drugged. I could have been raped. I could have got beat up.
Yeah.
Cause my mouth was so smart, Shay. Like, I would talk to dudes, like, because that was the persona. Like, I'm looking at these girls on the entertainment. My persona was like Nicki Minaj. Like, I wanted to be like her. You know what I'm saying? So, I would be talking to these dudes, gangster with it, smart mouth, slick mouth, and they would just find it entertaining. Thankfully so. But it was guys that would get so excited when they saw me. They could have did anything to me.
Yeah, they could have.
They could have put anything in my drink. They could have put anything in the blunt. You know what I'm saying?
But
and
it's
that's
crazy.
Another story. But we're gonna share that for about when we was the drug one that we gonna talk about.
Yeah.
But thankfully, y'all, God did not let those things happen to me. Thankfully, they always dropped us off when we was ready to go.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they gave us what they gave us, and we got high.
Girl, that's crazy.
And it never happened.
I done been in situations where I done been trapped in bathrooms. You feel me?
Man.
Like trapped in the bathrooms, like where I couldn't even move. Like for real, like in the dark. But this sucker traps me in the bathroom. I'm on the sink and he in front of me and he wouldn't let me out the bathroom. Like period, you know? And I didn't even know dude like that to even be in situations like that. Some stuff, man, I have to fight my way out of though. For real. Mugs want to take something that ain't rightfully theirs. Oh, I'm fighting.
Because a lot of these dudes, we don't know what they've been through in their life. We don't know the stuff that we say to them, how it affects them and their manliness. You know what I'm saying?
But it's how we portray ourselves to be. It's how we fashion ourselves.
We was attracted
toward them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know if we attracted rapists, molesters, murderers. We don't know people that got mental illness.
Hot girl they done met.
We just going off the appearance of the person and what they have, what they can offer. But you don't know where they mind at though.
Drinks.
At that time, we
got to have a good time.
That's it.
And this dude got this nice car, and he stay fresh, and he smells good.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
But not thinking about no type of mental state of these dudes, man.
Thinking about asking God to protect you in these situations. Never. Man, we going with the flow like what's up? That's all. I'm telling you, he protected us the whole time. Because we was in some bad, tough situations that we was gonna need God to get us out and to send us a reroute, a detour to get up out of there. I'm telling you, man, that's what happened. I promise you, that's what happened.
It wasn't nothing but the grace of God.
That's it. That's all. And I bank on that, man. I bank on that. I promise you, I bank on that. Because as you look back over your life, some of them situations, ain't no way you could have used your own strength, your own ability to get out of. Or wisdom to get out of. Men are way more stronger and powerful than us. Okay, we may have the mouthpiece, but we don't have the strength as a man has.
If a man wanted to pin me down, my little self,
they could have.
They could have pinned me down.
They could have.
I was an easy pin down.
Man, look
I was a teeny bopper, like teenager, and I'm with dudes like 34, 29, 28.
Man, talk about it.
I'm just in their car. It's just nice. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my girls.
And that's all, honestly, that's all I surrounded myself with was dudes. I had my own crib at a young age. So that's all. I want to say something else, but that's all that was at my house. It's dudes from the front to the back, and I got people to vouch for that. Was front to the back. I had very, very few female friends. Very few. All the way up until I got saved, I was the party girl. Everybody know me, party at Shay house. I promise you gonna have somebody to come in, they gonna tell you. The smoke, the drinks, the weed, the dudes, the cars, it was at Shay house. But when Boo came, like the boo, but hubby, all that stuff. He shut it down. Hey, we got something for you.
And that's the grace of God too. When I did get in this last relationship with the guy that I was with, a lot of stuff changed for me. I wasn't in the streets as much. I wasn't in the club scenes. I wasn't in the parties no more. In the beginning, he would let me still go, but he became attached to me, and he felt like I was his property. He even changed the way I dressed. They change your whole. They change your whole speed. Let's just say that you slow down.
They change the whole way you carry yourself.
Because people love to have me around because they knew, like, we gonna bring Shay&Tae because she look good, and these dudes gonna spend their money because they trying to impress her. Girl,
you know what, Tay? You was a little sex symbol. That's what we was promoting that. We was just like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and them. They are sex symbols. They have model bodies.
Yeah, I had a model body.
Coke, the little slim. That's exactly what is attractive to all men, all dope boys, all men's sight. That's all they see in their picture.
And I dressed the part too. I was getting in all the clubs. People didn't even really care to look at my ID because I just looked the part. And another thing too, when you with these guys, you think that by them getting you high, getting you drunk, spending their money on you, and driving you around with them, that's them loving you.
No, that's not.
But I wasn't really. I was being used.
You really was.
Like, in a lot of situations with a lot of these guys, they was just using me for my body.
That's
for what I look like.
Yeah, what you had, what they can get up. That's it.
That's a lot of what it was. And I was in a lot of very quick relationships, like months worth of relationships.
Never happy, never satisfied.
And I used to always wonder sometimes, like, why they don't pick me? You know what I'm saying? Pick me.
Yep, I was like that too.
But it was like a situation where a lot of dudes saw me as a toy, as an object.
They were seeing you as a pawn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
And it was many girls just like me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the only girl who had a nice body, nice shape. A lot of girls in my age, because of our culture, we was all out there, very pretty girls,
Very
just riding
pretty.
around with these dudes. Like, how did you get her? And you older, and you know, but they had what we wanted because we was trying to live that lifestyle. Trying to call, you want to? No, I see what you about, boy.
Maybe I can encourage somebody to help somebody that's not really the life that you're looking for.
No,
your void has
man.
to be filled with God only.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how my void got filled. And as I got older, things start to get old. Things start to get sour. Things start to get boring because I started so young. So, you know, as I got older, I just got tired of a lot of stuff because it was just repeating itself. It was like cycle after cycle. So I kind of got tired of living that way. I kind of got tired of being with this dude to that dude. That wasn't even cool as me being a young lady with children.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I kept having kids back to back. That wasn't even cool because they don't really want to deal with a kid. They loose strings. They drug dealers. They want to
like
live their life. They like the street. They street rats.
You just hit it
and
on
that's
the
what they
head.
want to do, man.
These
that's what they want to do.
Most of the dope boys, they addicted to that lifestyle.
And they like multiple women. They want
it.
multiple women. But you to carry his kids, some of them be their main chick, but they still got other women on the side.
Definitely.
You're not the only one.
You're not.
You're not the only one. Because I wasn't the only one.
I learned that. It was even guys that would come straight out and be
You're
like,
not the only one.
I just want to have sex with you. Can we stay cuddy buddies?
Nah.
And I used to be like, I'm not no cuddy buddy.
This ain't that. This ain't that.
And I would regret so hard that I even gave them anything. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, I learned in church too, Tate, spiritual soul tie. Me and my husband was just talking about that yesterday. Spiritual soul tie is real. Once you give up yourself to these different guys,
you're gonna go through some pain to get them out of your system.
You are. And it's gonna be hard to detach yourself from them because now you done soul tied yourself sexually with these guys or with this female. So that's very important that you don't soul tie yourself. Let God soul tie you with that one person that he give you, that he blesses you with. Not these random guys that you're going out chasing. That's not going to fill your void. Again, as I say, only God can fill your void, and to complete you. He completed me. He completed her. I have the best. I have the man of my dreams.
And you know what I just thought about while you was just talking? Like, that soul tie can be so strong that you can really give your all to these dudes because I did time with one of my dope boys, which I did time
too. I did time too, sis.
It's nothing like the emotional strain.
Talk about it.
I was in 12th grade at this time, y'all. So I'm struggling with the fact that I'm about to fail high school because I done spent all that time chasing you, and now you in jail, and it's just me, myself, and
That's
I.
right.
And not only is I'm with you while you in jail, I'm also carrying the burden of putting money on the phone. I'm only 16, 17 years old.
That's true.
This is my first job. Like, I'm working in the outlets. You know what I'm saying? At the little stores in the malls. You know what I'm saying? And he expected me to keep money on the phone. If I ain't got money on the phone, he thinks I'm cheating on him. I'm getting mentally bogged down. I'm overwhelmed because I'm like, if I don't answer the phone, he gonna be cussing me out. He gonna think I'm cheating on him. And I'm so young. I'm in the school walking out of class because he calling me while I'm in class. I gotta answer the phone because I'm trying to be there for him. And I'm taking my little checks, $200, $300 checks. I'm working all week for.
I can relate
on his books.
I can relate.
Buying them stuff for his jail room, trying to be that ride or die chick, but it was so overwhelming for me. Y'all.
It was draining. It was draining.
It was so overwhelming for me because I was so young. Going to visit him, I'm only 17 years old. When you going into these visit rooms,
I know. Talk about
you got all these hungry, thirsty men who ain't had sex in
months.
And I'm only like 17 years old with this nice Coca-Cola bottle, and I'm trying to dress sexy for him. I used to feel so uncomfortable. Even when the guards used to beat my ID, because I finally, when I turned 17, I think you can get an ID when you turn 17. I finally was able to get an ID so that I can go to the visits. Because at first I was too underage and I had to go with his mom. Now I'm on the phone trying to be sexual with him on the phone. His mama's sitting right there. I had to do that. She had to literally take me to go see this dude because I was underage. And that's another thing that when he found out how old I was, because I hid my age with him so long. When it was time to visit him and stuff,
well, baby, the feelings, the love was already there. That's too late. That's over with. Don't nobody care about that. And nowadays nobody care about age anyway.
No,
age
but he
ain't
was
nothing.
mad because this particular guy, he said, I could have went to jail. I was riding around with you and you was underage.
Buddy.
I could have went to jail.
But you life was lifing.
But that stuff is so weird and uncomfortable. And it came to the point where I had found out some information about him that he was cheating on me because when your guy go to jail, you get all his information because he needs you to send stuff to him.
Do this and do that.
Go on his email.
That's right. That's
check
right.
Stuff.
That's
so
right.
he started giving you all this stuff so you can help him out with his cases for evidence and all this stuff. And my little self was sneaking through, looking at all his old messages, even the messages. Because what a lot of guys don't know is that when they delete messages, some of them go into an archive section.
Yep, and you can bring them back up, baby.
Bring them back.
Yes, you can.
And so happened, I clicked the archive because, mind you, I'm young, I'm in high school, I know about all the computer stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm raised off a computer, so I'm like, let me check his archive. And the man deleted some messages, and I found out that he had cheated on me when I went away with my friend on one trip. And it broke my heart. Now, mind you, I'm only like 17 years old. I'm going hard for this dude. I'm giving him all my little prime outlet money. And I found out that this man had done cheated on me. Mm-hmm. My little heart was broken into pieces. I was on the floor. Hurt. My heart felt like it was ripped, flipped over, turned out, snatched, and I felt broken. Yeah. Y'all, I'm talking about, I was crying. I was shaking.
You know how they had the heart with the cracks in the middle and then it's on fire? Oh, yeah.
That's what
set me on fire.
Have you ever got so mad where your whole body just turned hot?
Yeah,
like if somebody touched you, they could feel the heat
come off your body.
And I was shaking. Yeah. I just dropped the phone. I was shaking. I was like, I'm giving him all my money.
Yeah.
I'm putting all this stuff on his book. I'm keeping money on the phone so he can call me.
Right.
I'm doing all this. I'm
exactly.
Sure. And this man done cheated on me. And then been talking to all these girls.
Right. But look though, Tay, have you ever been cheated on right in front of you being cheated on? Like, I can see it. Like,
yeah.
I'm in
I love flirting.
Man, absolutely. I'm in the living room and the TVs. You know, remember those flow model TVs? Mm-hmm. And I could see his reflection and her reflection in the TV, and I'm on the couch looking stupid in the mug, and they in there flirting around, and they think
that you can't see them, but you
I
can
saw
see
him.
them.
I fussed him out so good.
Too, didn't
I had a feeling he was messing with her though. I had a feeling. And then I'm here hanging out with y'all, and you messing with her, and you lying to me, telling me you not. See, that's what I'm saying with them older dudes. They think they slick, as my mom said. You're young and you're dumb. You don't know enough. You don't have no knowledge. You have no.
We don't have no business. You don't have nothing. Them.
We don't. We shouldn't have been. We should have been in school.
In class.
Because
not laid up in somebody's house with these dudes. Missing all our lessons.
We shouldn't have been doing none of that.
Y'all, I just barely graduated.
I did too.
I literally after I got my heart broken, I started reading the Bible because this is what actually led me to Christ. This was one of those situations where it broke me down so bad, where I was so hurt. I started reading the Bible. I got on my knees. I was crying. I was like, Lord, I can't do this no more. I'm about to fail high school. I'm trying to take care of this dude, and he done broke my heart now. I know he was cheating on me, you know. And I just started praying. I don't know what made me pray, but I just started praying, and I started talking to God. Even when I would go visit him, I would be in the backseat while his mom and his sister and them taking me to the visit. I would be praying, like, God, I don't want this life. I don't want this no more. I don't want to do this no more. This ain't for me no more. I don't know what I'm doing here. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it took the grace of God, y'all, literally with me praying and learning about God, to where he got my mind focused enough for me to even graduate, y'all. I had to go to summer school twice to make up for all the credits that I lost from chasing these goofy boys.
I'm telling you.
They almost ruined my life. I just barely graduated and walked across that stage.
I did too. Before my mama died.
Man, y'all, it was hard.
I graduated in 03 and she died in 04. So I said that I wanted to graduate before my mom passed away.
Man, that's beautiful.
She had kidney disease and she had heart failure. And I barely made it just so she could see me walk that stage. I barely made it because all the dropouts from 10 to 12. I kept dropping out. I kept going. I graduated. And then with the kids that I had, and then my son had a disability. He had cancer. He had spina bifida. So between all that, you know what I'm saying, going back and forth to Children's Hospital, you know what I'm saying, with my mama help and with God alone helping us on the side, you know what I'm saying, I was able to graduate and take care of my kids at the same time.
And we almost like a lost out on a lot of things, but by
I did miss out on a lot, man. I missed out on a lot, man.
And let me say this too: I didn't even go to prom because
I ain't do none of that. I ain't do no
because
prom,
he didn't want me to go.
Homecoming, nothing.
Because he was too embarrassed to go to prom with me because he was too old to even be with me.
Right.
And my goofy self didn't want to go because I didn't want to disrespect him, so I didn't go to prom.
I didn't get to do any of that thing. I didn't honestly, y'all.
That's sad.
I didn't even get to have a childhood. because I got caught in the street life so
here.
young. But very smart.
I wasted so much
We did.
potential.
We did.
Because I
We
was
did.
chasing something that was never meant for me
Never
to be
meant to
chasing.
be.
And
Never
I
meant
had
to
no
be.
business doing. And my grandma and grandpa, thank God for them, they tried to be on me, but I was sneaky. I was manipulative.
Right.
I was lying. You know what I'm saying? And I did it anyways. You know what I'm
Override it, the plan God has for us.
Man.
But some things we went
I
through,
could've been somebody.
we had to go through that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some things we did rebelliously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know, God brought us this far and he allowed us to live to even talk about this.
Man,
You know
we
what I'm
alive.
saying?
That's
To
a
try to
blessing.
help somebody else that's experienced it or experiencing it right now.
I
Life
like y'all
life
too,
will
man.
be life in you. If you do not
Yeah.
have God in your life, it
You
would
need
take
God,
you over.
man,
It would
for
take you
real.
under. You would be doing things that you're going to regret. And you may not be able to come back from it. But God allowed us to come back from this. Because it could have been our last. You know what I'm saying? Being with the wrong people. Being with the wrong guys. Trying to follow after the
grace
world.
of
The
God.
world system. You
It
know
was
what
the
I'm
grace
saying?
of God, man.
That's all. I only give glory to God only. I don't give the devil no glory. Because yeah, he had us. He had us one time though. But he don't got us no more. We
No
don't
more.
even belong. We ex-convicts of the life of the world. Ex-convicts of
Praise
the world.
be to God,
We
man.
XXX. We
that
not.
stuff did not
that's
happen
over.
to us like it happened for
It's
a lot
over.
of young women, man.
Exactly.
It could have easily been us, man.
We could have been a statistic. And I always say this too. It's on my bio too. I ain't worthy of anything, but I owe God
We
everything.
didn't even pray when we opened up.
No, we didn't.
So we gonna pray.
Because we was nervous when we had to come and talk about all this stuff. This stuff was tough.
This was a heavy one.
It was
y'all.
tough.
This was a heavy
man,
one.
we got to pull the band-aid off these wounds.
But,
Yeah,
man,
boy.
For me to be
The
here
love.
today,
The love. The world ain't going to give you no love like God give you love.
that purpose and that
That
plan
love, I'm
that
telling
God
you.
got for you,
I'm telling you, man.
these are situations that we tell you about from our past. But
That's
you could
it.
easily be going through this stuff right now or just
Right now.
entering this lifestyle. And I'm telling you, God got a purpose and a plan for your life.
Everybody got a destiny.
It's something that the devil is trying to manipulate you from obtaining and succeeding in because
That's
he
it.
got you distracted by
That's
this
it.
lifestyle that
That's
ain't
it.
even cool, man.
It's not.
It's not cool because at the end of the day, we was a party to encouraging these dudes because
That's
we
it.
was hyping them up. We wanted to
yeah,
enjoy it.
that's
But
it.
these
That's it.
dudes is selling drugs to people, destroying lives, destroying families.
That's it.
And that was
That's
one of
it.
the reasons why God dealt with my mind to let go of my dope boy when I got saved, because I cannot sit up here and say I love God and serve God and be with somebody who destroying lives. You
That's
know what I'm
it.
saying?
Hurting people. Because
That
that's all
stuff
you're doing.
is addictive.
It
People is
is.
selling household treasures for
Talk
this
about
stuff.
it. They sell-
People are
man, they selling their
abandoning their
kids.
kids for this
They
stuff.
selling their kids. Like,
Hurting their families for this stuff. Lying, stealing, killing each other for this stuff. I can't be a part of that no more. And if he wasn't willing to let it go with me, I could not let it. I couldn't be with him no more.
absolutely not.
Because
It
I'm
couldn't
chasing
happen.
Christ. I'm chasing God. I'm chasing
That's it.
goodness, mercy, love, long suffering.
That's it.
Peace.
Peace.
You
That's
know what
it.
I'm saying?
Joy,
it ain't no
happiness.
peace in that lifestyle.
No,
man.
it's not, man.
There's no peace.
It's just you're gonna keep chasing it and keep chasing it. But where do the end come
It don't
in?
end.
There's no end to it.
Because
death,
why
yeah.
the dope boys making the money, they spending it just as fast as they making it because they trying to put on this lifestyle that they don't really got.
They gotta uphold that image. So
Yeah, hard.
They gotta continue to uphold that. But it's not gonna get them nowhere.
No.
I see people that sell so much drugs, right? They have lots of money. To this day, I done seen it, you know, and I'll be like, why are you holding on to that money and you're not doing anything
That's
with it?
all they got.
You ain't even trying to invest. You're not trying to build anything with it. Why do drug dealers do that? Why do you just hold on to the money
That's all
and
they
you're
got.
not putting it nowhere? I just, to this day, I don't understand that. Somebody help me
Because that's
understand
all
that.
they got. That's where they find their identity. To splurge,
Just to
show
hold
it
the
off,
money, to
show
let
it off.
somebody know that you got all this money, but you ain't even got a crib to live in.
money.
Then when you go to prison, you're gonna be
Seeing
looking.
that
You're
in
gonna be
so
looking
many
for a
ways.
lawyer if they don't take your money.
That's
And then
very
if you
true.
don't beat your case, if they got hardcore evidence on
We
you,
putting it on your
you
books.
good as gone. We putting
put
it on your books.
We put the money on their books.
You good as gone, bro.
seriously,
You
for
good as
real,
gone.
For real.
So why, woman, man, boy, girl, why do it? Answer that question to yourself. Like, Lord, why?
It's pointless, man.
It's
It's
pointless.
a cycle of nothingness.
That's
and a waste of your
a
life.
cycle of nothingness.
It's for real.
That's nothing.
Wasting potential, wasting life, wasting time, man. Chasing something that ain't even real. These people on these TV shows, these music videos,
That's it.
these movies,
That's it.
that's not even real,
It's
my
not.
brother. That's
It's
not real, my
all
sister.
some of it may be, but a lot of it ain't.
But not for long. A lot of these
No, it's
people
a
who
end. It's
did
an ending to it.
reach those high, empire type money making, dope dealing lifestyles. they either ended up dead or in jail for life.
For sure,
so
for sure.
It ain't no point.
It ain't. It's not no point around the board. You're right. Facts.
You miss out on family. You miss out on
exactly.
Seeing your kids grow
what about
up.
your wife? What about your kids? What about your family as a whole? Like,
and that was the number one thing I worried about with my dope boys. Like, if you go to jail or if I get pregnant, I'm gonna be left by myself.
Yes, you is.
And I'm gonna have to do everything by myself.
What's crazy?
And I'm gonna have to take care of you in jail.
That's what happened to me when Buddy went to prison for 6 years. Well, he did a year here, then he went there and he did 5 years. My daughter was only 11 months though. You feel me? She was only 11 months though. So he was gone, but he still was setting boundaries while he was locked up. But I still went to go see him.
That's how
I still went to go see him. And when I went to see him, I got sick and got put in the hospital. So look all the major sacrifices that I made.
You make a
because
lot of sacrifices.
I was in love with him.
And that love that you thirsted for from them, you probably won't never get.
You won't.
Because it ain't even necessarily you that they care about. It's just what you can give to them. Really.
It is.
Really.
And you know what? I think too, I'm still learning, y'all. Everything that I'm saying is helping me too. You know, even by me being saved, because I still have to deal with stuff of my past. I'm still struggling with pulls of my own mind. You feel me? So it's like I have to know my own self-worth. When we're doing these things, we got to question ourselves. What is my self-worth? Is it worth me giving myself up to you for the lifestyle that you're trying to keep up with, the image you're trying to keep up with?
Yes.
I don't have to be involved. I don't have to do this.
The Lord will really be dealing with my mind. Like, why am I even doing this?
Right, but
I don't have to be doing this.
Exactly.
Why am I even here? I don't even have no attachment to this lifestyle. I can easily just go to school and mind my business. Stop picking up the calls.
Exactly.
What are you gonna do?
Exactly. So we was in the middle of spiritual and natural battle.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it was.
It was spiritual and a natural battle. The flesh wanted to do what the flesh wanted to do, but God was still trying to work on our minds. But the devil is like, so the devil
trying to drown out God's
God speaks soft. The devil like to blow his horn and he will override you. Yes. He overrided us strongly. Everybody know right. Babies know right from wrong.
Especially when they got into those real situations. We was like, should I be really with this dude?
I question myself. Everything that I did, every decision that I made through my life, I promise you, God knows, I question myself. Is this what I really want to do? But the devil had me in a chokehold. You know, he had your chain down, your neck, your legs. We were straight Satan. We weren't nothing of that nature.
Didn't even second think it.
Nothing. The flesh had full course.
Flesh was just.
I'm telling you, you was like a freaking puppet. You literally is a puppet to your own flesh. But it was the life decisions that we chose. Now we older and God have settled us. And if the Lord wouldn't have saved me, that's another topic.
Oh my God, y'all! I thank God I got saved when I did, y'all.
I'm glad I heard the call.
If I didn't get saved when I did, y'all, I would not be here. I would not be doing it. If I didn't get the Holy Ghost when I did,
I'm telling you,
I wouldn't be here because I still was with my dope boy when I got saved. That soul tie was strong with him. Like I literally had to fight my way out of that relationship. Literally. But it took the power of the Holy Spirit to even deal with my mind and change my outlook to recognize, like, if you go this way, it's not gonna be nothing good for you.
But you know what? Hers is crazy. It's so beautiful. I want to say this. God made a way for her to get out of her situation.
He did.
Because Buddy wasn't ready for what the God blessed her to be ready for.
Absolutely.
But on my end, I married my dope boy.
And that's a great ending because on our next episode,
I married him.
So stay tuned for the next episode. We got
you better talk about it. They best friends.
They best friends.
They best friends.
In the Lord Jesus Christ.
They best friends and they both was dope boys. And hardcore.
Guess what?
What?
They are
husbands. That's crazy, ain't it?
We are married.
We are married.
Some sanctified.
Yes.
Delivered.
Talk about it.
Dope boy.
Talk about it. Ministers, talk about it. Talk about it. They are ministers of Jesus Christ himself.
Y'all, ministers. They
are ministers. They preach the gospel. You feel me?
They preaching the word of God.
Yes. And we are little bitty
minister
wives. We are minister wives.
This girl and this girl.
What? I would have never thought.
Never.
I would have never.
Minister wives. Do you hear the word that are coming out of my mouth?
Minister wives. I would have never
Y'all,
thought in a million years
God
that
is
my
good.
husband would even be a minister. The life that he lived,
The life my
I
husband
would have
lived,
never thought God would have ever gave him a
would've never
chance with
thought
that.
I
one
would be. So
testimony,
yeah,
though.
stay tuned for the next episode. We will be bringing our husbands on to share their testimony of when they was in the street.
Yeah, Lord.
Dealing dope,
Yes.
dealing with drugs, living that lifestyle
living it,
from a
living
male
it.
point of view. And they our husbands.
Yes.
Saved, sanctified,
Filled with the Holy Ghost.
Baptized in the name of Jesus. Holy
name.
Ghost speaking in
Filled.
tongues.
Talk
men.
about it.
Preaching men of God.
Talk about it. Yes.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
So yeah, all glory to God. We're going to pray our way
Guys.
out. Okay. Father
Dear
God,
Father
in the
God,
name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for this day, oh God. We give you all the glory, all of the honor, all of the praise right now, oh God. You are so good, so mighty, so merciful, oh God, for giving us the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding, Lord. Bring it back to our remembrance, our testimonies, oh God, that we will be a witness and a light right now, oh God, to someone today, oh God. Forgive us, oh God, for not praying before the podcast, but Lord, you still use us through the power of your Holy Spirit. And we just pray, Lord, that this testimony, oh God, will tear down strongholds, break chains, open up the eyes to the reality of living that dope boy lifestyle and chasing after those dope boys. In the name of Jesus, Lord, heal, deliver, and set free, oh God. Bring them through, oh God, that they will have the same testimony that you are a deliverer, that you give peace that surpasses all understanding, that you supply all of our needs, oh God. You see and you know all things. Have your way, oh God. Lead and guide those that need to hear this to this podcast. In the mighty name of Jesus, Lord, we pray.
Thank you right now.
Thank you, Lord, right now for using
Lord,
us.
in Jesus'
Yes,
name.
Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank
So
you,
yeah, y'all, we love y'all.
We
God
love
bless y'all.
y'all.
Thank y'all for tuning in to
Keeping it real with Shay&Tae.
Peace. And the right stuff where I can edit it right
For
into
real?
so it be just flowing.
Right.
But boy, I be in that phone like,
You do for real?
edit those other loves out. No, son, you won't be getting that satisfaction.
Right. Oh my God, it's
You won't be getting that satisfaction. You won't be knowing every little thing.
right.
'Cause
Every
we
little
are
detail.
being on this couch. You couldn't see that.
Right. One of them nails gonna swing off, I'm telling you. You had to make the press-ons. Ah! Ah!
Woo! He's struggling to be cute, man. It's a lot of work being cute. I don't care what nobody say.
God. Just to be cute. I never
To
thought.
be presentable for you guys. Because y'all look at every nick and cranny and
They
everything.
do, baby. Y'all show. My lip noise hurts back.
My head hurt right here because
Hey.
the braids is pulling my
I
head
know
back.
the Chinese when you did mine, I felt them go up
Look,
like
we
that.
be having a whole facelift when
Ain't
we
it?
do our hair.